Hi, this is John Hartraw. Welcome to episode 42 of Left Turn at Albuquerque. And we're here. We're up to disc 5 of the Tom and Jerry Golden Era Anthology and the end of an era, Hanna-Barbera's last theatrical shorts with the duo. And you know what? We're going to do the bonus disc at the end of this episode as well. Quick note for this disc, I'm posting the Thad K review for the Cinemascope disc since all the selections on this one, plus some extras, were on that release. The Cat and Mouse only had 7 cartoons released in 1956, including one shot-for-shot remake, and probably the most depressing cartoon this side of the Little Match Girl. The Flying Sorceress was released on January 27th. Tom gets frustrated at Joan and answers an ad in the paper. But it turns out his new owner is a witch. After taking him for a ride, she leaves her broomstick, and Tom decides to try flying it himself to catch Jerry. But she is not happy when she finds out about it. Now, this was the first time in 16 years of Tom and Jerry cartoons that a human's full face is clearly seen. The Witch was done by June Foray.
So, you want to be my traveling companion, eh?
Who was busy on the witch front that year. Broomstick Bunny came out at the same time over at Warner's. This one had a new Cinemascope opening for the duo. Hanna-Barbera would later do another cartoon with a witch, but this one much prettier. The Egg and Jerry came out on March 23rd. Some places have it as December 30th, 1955, but since it's on this disc, I'm going to go with the later date. I'll save us some time. This is a shot-for-shot remake of Hatch Up Your Troubles. They literally took the cells from the earlier cartoon, reshot them on wider backgrounds with the Cinemascope camera. They even used the same soundtrack. Mama! This also had the first notation on the titles in Cinemascope. Busy Buddies was released on May 4th. George and Joan leave their new baby with teenager Jeannie, who immediately gets on the phone with her friends. This leaves Tom and Jerry to keep track of the baby, who's a quite active little tyke. No, not that tyke. Supposedly, this wasn't shown a lot on TV in the old days since it featured child neglect. But eventually they calmed down and realized it's just a cartoon. I remember seeing this cartoon quite a bit. Muscle Beach Tom came out on September 7th. Tom is showing off his muscles at the beach to impress a female cat, but Butch also competes for her attention. Jerry sabotages Tom's attempt to appear strong and athletic, leading to a lot of fitness-related gags. This isn't quite a remake of Saltwater Tabby, but it does use some of the same ideas and designs. Downbeat Bear was released on October 21st. A dancing bear escapes from the circus. Now, this bear loves music and dances whenever he hears it. Tom tries to turn him in for the reward, but Jerry keeps playing music, so the bear will keep dancing with Tom. They include a nice little touch to show that there are different radio stations, with Paul Frees at the beginning.
We interrupt this broadcast to announce that a dancing bear has wandered away from the carnival.
And Dawes Butler at the end.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host at Melody Time.
You know, with that hat, he bears, a little similarity to a future Hanna-Barbera character. Bluecat Blues came out on November 16th. Jerry, voiced by Paul Frees.
Poor Tom. In a few minutes, it'll all be over.
Narrates Tom's sad story of heartbreak. The cat is depressed over losing his girlfriend to Butch and contemplates suicide by sitting on the railroad tracks. This is definitely the darkest Tom and Jerry cartoon in terms of theme. Even worse, the ending implies both Tom and Jerry, who's also heartbroken over the loss of a girl, may meet a tragic end. Thanks to that, it's not one that got a lot of airplay. Last for the year was Barbecue Brawl, released on December 14th. Spike and Tyke are having a backyard barbecue. As usual, Tom and Jerry's conflict disrupts the outdoor cooking as the mouse hides in and around the dogs while the cat tries to get him. This is very similar to Pup on a Picnic, right down to the ants, with the added element of the barbecue. This is also where the final form of the Cinemascope opening shows up for the first time.